I go to this park 3 times a week. I used to go mainly to the beach, but the beach became full of people and the beach path became full of people. San Francisco is a very moderate weather when everybody else has the sun and sometimes it's a hot sun. In fact, the summer in San Francisco is pretty cool, but it's not that cold. The only thing that bothers me is seeing many other people walking here as well, just not as many as in the beach. And the one good thing is that they like to be far away from me. It's nice to see the dogs and other kinds of animals here. What attracts me are the trees. They're large, they're tall, they're great. It opens the eyes. When you sit in a room, the eyes are pointing forwards. When you look at a computer, they're pointing forwards. But the tree attracts me to look up. And they're pretty tall. It's all artificially made here. Look what beautiful dogs. It's all artificially made here. It's all was made by people, but it still is beautiful. There are hills here and some gravel. Even though this is a nice path, and I'm walking in that path for like 40 blocks every day, it's not completely even, and it is so pleasant on the legs. So the pleasure for the eyes is to look up at the trees. Sometimes I even talk to them. The pleasures for the body is the unevenness, because then it's not jarring on the body. Cement is jarring. And while I meet people from time to time, because many people use the Golden Gate Park, much of the time I'm on my own. And it's such a pleasant, meditative feeling to receive the wonderful air, to look at the trees. And it motivates me to look. Quite often, I will take out of my glasses, out of my pocket glasses, and I will cover my strong eye, and with my weaker eye, I will be looking at everything. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm standing in one place. Normally, you would see me walking a lot, covering for a few minutes my strong eye, so I would be able to look with my weaker eye and give it a chance to see things. From time to time, I would stand and do the long swing exercise. Move from side to side and visualize everything moving opposite. And I see all kinds of things, structures, other trees, other parts of the land. Reminds me of the person who came once to my office and had a huge nerve damage and had 4% vision. And when I taught him the exercise of the long swing, of moving from side to side, he noticed 14 details he could not see before. That's what the long swing does for me. But now as I take my glasses off, the two eyes are tracking and they're seeing way better. Walking heel to toe is very important. And that's what many people don't do when they walk on cement. The legs are jarring. Heel to toe is very important. With the front knee bending and the back knee being straight. Again, with the front knee bending and the back knee being straight. Walking on a heel is really great because you do walk heel to toe. And I can almost imagine that there's a ball under my foot. So my foot is really rotating. It's not just moving in a rigid way. You know, so many people twist their ankles and then have pain. I fell so many times on puddles or slippery roads. Never had the long-lasting damage. Nothing hurt me more than 5 minutes. And I met people that did the same kind of twist I did mistakenly, and that damaged for years. So it's very important to think about heel to toe, and the front leg is bent. And of course, in my book Awakening, I'm explaining it very well. And in future books that I'll have, I'll explain that very well. But the important thing is to be very, very mobile as you move, not to be frozen as you move. You don't have to have a paralysis or disability to freeze yourself. And that is the curse of the 21st century. People freeze themselves in front of the computer, think in front of the computer, and not having the sense of mobility. The park with the air, with the fact that I'm able to be alone so much, helps me to feel my body, even in my late 60s, and move. The traffic noise is somewhat disturbing. So many cars are getting into the park right now because the city closed so many roads, supposedly for the benefit of people. But traffic pollution is one thing. Looking at these beautiful trees, where you look up and the trees are up there and you can look at different parts of them and where the tree and the sky meet, it's a fantastic thing for my eye. And now I'm looking at flowers here. And when I look at flowers, I put on the red and green glasses. So if the flower is red, I put the red over my weaker left eye. If the flower is kind of purple, I put the red over my stronger eye, and each time I want to prefer my weaker eye so it would look at details. There was nothing as nice as going to the rose garden in Buenos Aires and looking at those beautiful roses, putting the red lens in front of my weaker left eye. It worked and worked and worked. And what it led to is much more togetherness with the eyes. The right for a moment did not dominate so much the vision of the left. When there's so much noise, cars and all kinds of vehicles that repair and maintain the park, it's a good idea to put the thumbs in the ears. Listen to the breath. Listen to the inside, so when you take the thumbs off, the noise is easier to handle. And there's so much visual information. Sometimes it's good to close the eyes and remember what I saw so I can absorb it. So we can all see that working on the eyes, working on the inner kinesthetic sense of how the body moves, and working on all the senses is one of the same. As you look far with the eyes, the neck is loose. As you breathe, the circulation is better. As you walk, and you walk correctly, the blood flows. And as you use parts of your visual system you normally don't use, the eyes get better and a great relief.